All right, UFC Fight Night, The Ridder versus Allen predictions. Now, last week we only got two wrong, and we got the rest of them right. The only ones we got wrong were the main event. I picked Mateus Gamero to win, and we got the Ricardo Ramos wrong. He should be cut from the UFC. The rat. I will never want to see him fight again. But this week, hopefully, we're going to get all of them right. We usually get at most two wrong. I think the past 3 weeks, the most we gotten wrong in one card is three. So we're usually very accurate with the predictions. So before we start, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It helps so much. And I appreciate it. You're getting these picks for free without having to do the research. So let's go for that. Now, I'm going to skip the women's fight because they're not worth predicting. It's 50-50 all the time. So we're going to go straight to the first fight. Azamat Bekoev versus Yousri Belgaroui. Now this fight, I don't know how this fight is at the bottom of this card because in my opinion, this is one of the best fights on this card. It's an absolute shame that Stephanie Luciano versus Ravena Oliveira is after this fight. I feel like they're putting this fight early just so you tune in early. It's a shame. This is a great, it's an incredible fight. I don't know how it's so early on this card. It's ridiculous. But we're going to start with Yousri Belgaroui. Now, this guy's had a bunch of chances on Dana White's Contender Series, and I think he's won all of them as well. He didn't win his first one, but he won two. Or was it one other? Okay, so he's had two chances on Dana White Contender Series, and he's won one of them by finish. But he looked pretty stiff and boring, so I guess that's why they didn't sign him. Now, this guy is the main training partner of Alex Pereira. He was in his corner in his last fight, and I think he's been in his corner for the last few fights. This guy is a kickboxer through and through. I think he beat Alex Pereira in Glory back in the day. I think he fought him a couple times. He's also fought Adesanya in kickboxing twice. Lost 2 decisions to him. He beat Alex Pereira, and then he lost to him twice. But this guy's been fighting the best kickboxers in the world, including, as I just said, Pereira and Adesanya. He's an amazing kickboxer. He's very tall for the division. He is 6'5", which is 196 centimeters. He's a middleweight. He's a very big middleweight. Obviously, incredible kickboxing. His wrestling is so-and-so, but he's been training with the Pereira crew for so long now. It's been years, I believe. So he must have worked on his takedown defense, just being with Glover Teixeira and Alex Pereira and that whole crew. He's had some experience, I guess, with UFC now, and he's been at all of Pereira's fights. So he's seen the crowd, he's felt the energy, he's seen the behind the scenes, the interviews. He's done all of this. I think this fight is so hard for. I don't think he got a contract last year on Contender Series, but they're calling him in here on short notice against Bekoev, or maybe not short notice, but they're calling him in. And I feel bad for this guy because Bekoev is an absolute beast, man. He's so good. His Twitter page is also undefeated. He's an incredible fighter. He has so much finishing power, and he finishes his opponents brutally. He's not someone who does ground and pound and he doesn't really put out his opponents. He brutally attacks his opponents, especially on the ground. He has nasty elbows. He does a lot of damage to his opponents. And I think, even though Belgaroui probably has worked a lot on his takedown defense, I still think Azamat has such heavy power that he's going to set up his takedowns well. And if this gets to the ground, I feel bad for Belgaroui because he's going to take so much damage from Azamat Bekoev. I really rate this guy highly. He's 29 years old. He is... he's really good, man. Really good. So early in his career, obviously, he's fought in Russia. He's fought high-level opponents. He's fought good opponents. Some bumps as well. In the UFC, he destroyed Zach Reese and he destroyed Ryan Loader. Man, this guy has so much power. and he's gone the decision before and won. He's, obviously ground and pound is his thing. He can have submissions as well, but this guy looks for damage, ground and pound, elbows on the ground. I just see him taking down Belgaroui and smashing him on the ground. Man, if Belgaroui was fighting someone else, I think he could like win against most other unranked guys. But he's just fighting a beast here. He's fighting a monster. I really, really rate Azamat Bekoev highly, and I think he's gonna finish this fight by ground and pound. Man, this guy is really good. So you should definitely watch this fight. So I'm going with Azamat Bekoev. Next fight, Kyle Prepolec versus Drew Dober. Now, Kyle Prepolec was the victim of Benoit Saint Denis. Um, although it wasn't like a few days' notice, so I feel kind of bad for him, but he did get destroyed in that fight. He was a victim out there. Before that, he's had a so-and-so career. I mean, he's been in the UFC before, but this guy was a journeyman even on the regional scene. Um, I don't know why he's in the UFC. I think he was just available to fight on short notice against Saint Denis. That's why he got into the UFC. But this guy is honestly he's not good, and he's old as well. He's 36. Like, the only reason he's in the UFC, make no mistake about it, is because he could step up on like 2 days' notice. So I mean, who was he replacing? I don't. Let's see. He was replacing. I'm pretty sure he was. Was it Joel Alvarez? He was replacing. Yeah. So yeah. He's fighting Drew Dober. I mean, if you're watching UFC, you've been seeing this guy fight. He gets knocked out. He gets finished. Unfortunately, I mean, if Kyle Prepolec's skin tone was a bit darker, Drew Dober would get a first round finish. But although his recent performances have been shit and he's been finished by everyone, it's still Drew Dober. I mean, he's fought some of the best guys in the world, and he's lost to all of the best guys in the world. But he's still beat some good opponents like Alexander Hernandez, Terrence McKinney, Bobby Green. He's just been at the UFC for what 12 years now. Um, he's fought everyone, and you may think, oh, he got finished, he lost, he's gonna lose again, but he's been losing so much, and he does. He keeps coming back from losses and win. Although when he used to lose, it used to be by like he used to lose by like submissions and decisions. He didn't used to get knocked out or finished by strikes like it does, like he has been doing lately. But then again, he is fighting good opponents. But man, he should beat Kyle Prepolec. I mean, unless he's completely finished as a fighter. If he has just like a little bit left in him, he's gonna beat Kyle Prepolec probably by finish. I just see Kyle Prepolec. He's not UFC material at all, and Drew Dober. He's like a journeyman of the UFC, so he should be good. So he should get a finish in this one. I'm going with Drew Dober to win here. Next fight, Danny Barlow, nasty KO power versus Jourdain Santos. We're gonna start with Jourdain Santos. Was 10-2, fighting out of American Top Team. Now, the thing that worries me about this fight, he lost to Ozzy Diaz, which should automatically get him cut from the UFC. Uh, yeah, he's fighting Danny Barlow, who I think got knocked out by Sam Peterson or Patterson. But Sam Patterson is a pretty good fighter, so there's no like real shame in that. He beat Nikolai Oretnikov by split decision, which is not very good. But in his, I guess his UFC debut, he did finish Josh Quinlan, and he did finish Raheem Forrest. I remember watching this fight live on Contender Series a few years ago with nasty KO power. So he has KO power. He does struggle when the fight goes long, and he did get brutally finished in his last fight. So I worry this guy is gonna like be very tentative in his next fight. But he's fighting a guy who lost to. He's fighting a guy who lost to Ozzy Diaz. So just because of that, I'm gonna pick him. We're going with Danny Barlow by knockout or just by beating Jourdain Santos. I think he's just gonna do that. Next fight, yeah, Bruno Silva, the flyweight one versus Hyun Song Park. Now, Bruno Silva, his record is not good. He is 35 year old, 35 years old at flyweight, which is at the absolute end of the age spectrum you can fight at a high level in that weight class. He's been in the UFC for many years, 6 years. He had a no contest against Khalid Taha. I think he lost his fight, but he got overturned because Khalid Taha is a drug cheat. Then he lost his next two fights as well against David Dvorak and Tagir Ulanbekov, which is not, it's not shameful. And then he beat JP Bice, he beat Victor Rodriguez and Tyson Nam by submission. Then he beat Cody Djorden, and then he's been losing. He's been finished two fights in a row against Manuel Kopp and Joshua Van, who are like two of the best flyweights on the roster. So make of that what you want. He is fighting Hyun Sung Park. I believe this guy trains with the guy himself. Does he? No, he doesn't. The Korean Mantis, not the Korean Zombie. But yeah, so this guy fought in Asia for a while, and then in the UFC, his only loss is against Tatsuro Taira, and I think this was on short notice as well. He did get submitted and strangled, but I actually rate this guy. I think he's pretty good. He's got a good ground game. He's got good striking, and I mean he stepped up against Tatsuro Taira on very short notice, so there's no wonder he lost that fight by submission. Tatsuro Taira is an incredible fighter. So there's not like real shame in that, losing to him on short notice. I rate this guy highly. He's fighting a guy that's been finished 2 times in a row, who's 35. So yeah, I'm going with Hyun Sung Park to win this one. I think he's gonna finish him. Yeah, later in the fight, maybe second or third round. Yeah, so Hyun Sung Park to win this one. Next fight, Charles Jourdain versus Davey Grant. Now, is this fight in Canada? Yeah, it is. There's a lot of Canadian fighters here. Charles Jourdain, his brother just got signed to the UFC as well. This guy is very hit and miss. Sometimes he looks incredible, and sometimes he looks like shit. Um, Against Victor Henry, finished him. Jean Silva got finished. Sean Woodson, he lost a split decision, but I think he won that fight, in my opinion. He's been beating like Ricardo Ramos, Kron Gracie, so the he does beat the unranked flyweights in the UFC, the featherweights. He's like good enough to beat them, but he is getting better. He's just 29, but he's been in the UFC for quite a while, since 2019. So since he was 23, he has been in the UFC. Fighting Davey Grant, who's on a little tear lately. He beat Damon Blackshear, which is a very good win. Beat Ramon Taveras, which is a decent win. Lost a split decision to Daniel Marcos. No shame in that. They always favor South American fighters, anyways. This fight was probably in Las Vegas because in Las Vegas, the South American fighters always get the decision. Let me just see. Was this in Las Vegas? Let's see. Where was this fight? Where was the fight? Aspinall versus. Okay, it was in London. But usually, man, South American fighters always get the nod in close decisions. So you know how it is. He could have been on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak. And again, the other two fights he lost split decision to Adrian Yanez and Marlon Vera lost a decision. So he has been getting screwed in his career lately. I think this fight is very close. Although he's 39 years old, he's old as fuck. Um, that does play a factor. Man, if this fight was a few years ago, I would have gone with Davey Grant. But although he has been beating good people, he's old, man. He's so old. At bantamweight as well, he could have just as well been like 50. So we're gonna go with Charles Jourdain to beat him at this point of his career, and I think this guy is getting better as well. He took a 1 year break since his last fight, and I think he's been working hard on getting better. So yeah, we're gonna go with Charles Jourdain in this fight. Next, Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. Matt Frevola, I was just gonna say he's not a serious fighter. He's not like a serious guy. And then I look at his profile picture, and this is his profile picture. So that just further confirms my point. Like this guy, the only videos I've seen of him lately have been like him smoking weed and smoking bongs and doing stupid shit. That's the only thing I've seen him do. He's 35 years old. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, 2-fight finish losing streak. Man, this guy has been losing quite a bit lately. He hasn't fought in over a year. He's fought 2 times in 2 years, and he lost both by finish. He's 35. He keeps smoking, like, he keeps taking drugs. Like, what does this guy expect? I know he trains with like good people, but man, you can't be doing that shit in your career. He's fighting Kyle Nelson, who did lose to Steve Garcia quite brutally. But before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak, and although he was finished, and he has been getting finished a few times, I think this guy takes his career more seriously than Matt Frevola. But I mean, look at this picture, man. Um, although this is a very 50-50 fight, I could see Matt Frevola getting like a 10-second knockout. I could also just see Kyle Nelson getting a first round finish. I think this is one of the harder fights to predict. It's kind of like a coin flip fight. They have very similar records as well, similar ages, the similar career trajectories. You know, my brain is saying Kyle Nelson, but my heart is saying Matt Frevola. I know I talked a lot of shit about him, but I just have a gut feeling that Matt Frevola is gonna finish him. And I think going with your gut feeling sometimes is the right thing to do. So I'm going against my logic here, and I'm going with Matt Frevola to win by like a very early knockout, maybe first minute even. So going with Matt Frevola in this one. Next fight: Cody Gibson versus Aori Aoriqileng. Man, now Cody Gibson is a 38-year-old bantamweight, so he is not even an unk. He's like a grand unk, like he's an unk's unk. He's very old. He just got submitted by Damon Blackshear in his last fight. He's been losing quite a bit. He lost he lost to fucking Brad Katona. I mean, this guy got back to the UFC as like a 37-year-old. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what the UFC are thinking signing these guys. He should not be in the UFC, really. Fighting the Mongolian murderer. He's fighting the Mongolian murderer who lost to Raul Rosas Jr. last year. And he had a no contest against Daniel Marcos. I don't remember what happened. Man, these last few fights have not been like. How are these fights over? How are these fights over? Azamat Bekoev versus Yousri Belgaroui. It makes no sense. But man, this is a journeyman's fight. We're just gonna go with Aoriqileng by decision in this one. Man, this is such a low level fight. But yeah, we're going with Aoriqileng. I just think he's gonna win this one. He's younger and he's from China, so he probably trains hard. I mean, there's nothing really much more to say here. Aoriqileng. Now, a women's fight that we can actually predict: Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. Um, this is like one of those fights you can actually predict. Um, so we're gonna do it. Manon Fiorot is a 35-year-old woman fighting out of France. She just lost a decision to Valentina Shevchenko. Before that, she was on like a very long win streak. I think 15-fight win streak or something like that. It was it her first professional loss or a second one? Um, she's well coached. She's fighting Jasmine Jasudavicius Jr., who's been on a very nice win streak lately. I mean, I have been rating her highly. She does take her opponents down and kind of do what she wants. But I don't think she can do that against Manon Fiorot. I think she's a pretty decent women's fighter. Um, um, this is not like it's not going to be like a steamrolling from Fiorot, but I think she's not going to really be able to take her down. And I think on the striking, she's going to get pieced up. So I'm just going to say a 29-28 decision, Manon Fiorot to win this one. Next fight, Marlon Vera versus Aiemann Zahabi, the battle of the unks. I mean, Marlon Vera is not an unk. he looks older or he feels older than he is because he's been around so long. He's just 32, like he's not really that old. But Aiemann Zahabi is an unk. He's 37. He's been on a very nice win streak lately. Although it's mostly by decision. He beat Jose Aldo, a 50-year-old Jose Aldo. He beat Pedro Munoz, Javid Basharat, which was a very impressive win. Aoriqileng, Ricky Turkios, and Draco Rodriguez. So the last one, two, three, four, 5 fights have been very impressive, and then he had another one before that as well. Obviously, his brother is Firas Zahabi, so you know he is extremely well coached. Um, they probably have a very solid game plan on how to beat Marlon Vera, and Marlon Vera has been beat 12 times before or 10 times before in his career. Um, Now, Aiemann Zahabi, he's not like the greatest fighter of all time, but he does find ways to win, and I think that's in great part fact due to his training. And I think when your brother is such a great coach, that's a big advantage because he's going to be spending so much extra time on him, like way more than he would with other fighters at this level, because it's his brother. If it wasn't his brother, I don't think he would win as much because I don't think like the game planning and the watching of tape, I don't think they would do that as much for him. But since it's his brother, they're gonna put way more time and effort into his career, and they have been doing that. Obviously, that's why he keeps winning these smart fights. He has high fight IQ because of this, and I think that puts you at a great advantage against someone like Marlon Vera, who usually struggles a lot when he faces I guess, the friction in his fights. He does tend to struggle a lot and lose, and he has been losing a lot lately. Although it's been just to former champions. I mean, he lost to Davis and Figueiredo, which is former champion Sean O'Malley, former champion Corey Sanhagen, title challenger, and Jose Aldo was his last loss before that. Former champion. But if you look at his wins, it's against 37-year-old Davey Grant, 50-year-old Frankie Edgar, Aldrop Hunt, 1,000-year-old Dominic Cruz, Unk Pedro Munoz. Like he's beating these old people, like these old grandfathers. Man, I think I'm gonna go with Aiemann Zahabi on this one, um, because Marlon Vera is a beatable fighter, and if you have a game plan, if you look at his 10 losses, you can find some ways to beat him. And I just think the coaching aspect is the greatest difference here. So I'm going to go with Aiemann Zahabi to beat him by a very boring decision. He's going to hold him up to the cage and do boring stuff. He's going to secure a win. He's going to secure rounds. He's going to go for a takedown in the last 20 seconds of close rounds to get the win. And that's just what's going to happen. So Aiemann Zahabi to win this one by decision. Next fight, Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. I'm never ever in my life picking Kevin Holland again. I'm tired of picking him because sometimes you think he's going to win and he just doesn't try. Sometimes he tries, sometimes he doesn't. Honestly, this is 6 days before the. This is 6 days before the event. You have to watch his. I swear to God, you have to watch his pre-fight interviews to know if he's going to win or not. Because this guy, he is a drug addict. I swear, he smokes so much weed. You can tell by the way he acts. You can just see in his pre-fight interviews if he's on weed, if he's taking weed or not. I swear to God, you can see it. And maybe I'm gonna make like a community post on YouTube on this fight in particular. Like if I change my mind on it, because I can tell on his pre-fight interview if he's gonna win or not. Because if he's on drugs, he's gonna lose. I just know when he is. Sometimes he takes a break, and you can tell by the way he talks. He annoys me so much. This guy's been losing everyone so much money in fights he should be winning. Man, he's such an annoying fighter, man. Because he could be so good, but he just doesn't try it because he's a drug addict. Um, he's fighting Mike Malott, who is a decent fighter, who could have been on a long win streak, but he fumbled the fight against Neil Magny. But he came back from it, and I'm losing my voice here. I'm gonna go with Mike Malott right now, just because I think Kevin Holland is probably on drugs right now. Right now, he's probably high. As the moment you're watching this video, he is probably high. So yeah, I'm gonna make a community post if I change my mind, but most likely this guy's gonna be on drugs. So he's not even gonna try. He's gonna be like, when he's in the octagon, he's actually gonna be in his fucking home or something. Like, his mind is gonna be five different places. This guy is not a serious fighter, man. He's gonna lose, and he's gonna say something like, "Well, I tried on short notice. Blah, 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 it doesn't really matter." And then you just kind of forget about it, and he's gonna get called in again on short notice in like a few weeks, and that's just his whole career, man. He loses two, wins one, and then he wins three, and then he loses two, and man, I'm never picking this guy to win again, man. So we're going with Mike Malott. Never put your money on a drug addict, bro. Like, don't do that shit. Now, Rainier then Ridder versus Brandon Allen. I think this is the easiest fight to predict. Rainier the Ridder is going to win this one because the way that Brandon Allen wins his fights is by taking down his opponents and like winning that way. If he takes down the Ridder, he's gonna get submitted. Even though Brandon Allen could take down the Ridder, get to top position, and then try for like an armbar or something and just lose his position and get choked out. He has one of the lowest fight IQs in the history of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. If they did tail of the tape and they showed fight IQ, this guy would be like 4. His IQ would be 4. Like, he has such terrible fight IQ. He loses fights on purpose, I feel like, or just because I don't even know what he's trying to do. This guy, man, he has such low fight IQ, and if he tries to take down the Ridder, he's gonna get submitted. Even standing, I just think he has no chance. He's probably has better striking, but he's gonna find a way to knock himself out or something. Um, yeah, I'm going with Rainier the Ridder, who is he's an actual, he's a fighter, man. He's not stupid. He makes the right decisions. He finishes people. He beat Rob Whittaker. His only two losses in MMA were heavyweight fights. If you don't know, these are heavyweight fights. He should never have fought at heavyweight. He was kind of forced to by one championship to take these fights because there was no one else to fight. He had literally no one else to fight, so he had to go up not one but two weight classes and fight at heavyweight, and that's the only way he's lost in his career. He could have been undefeated. And just letting you know, this guy isn't actually. He's a title challenger, man. He's a very good fighter. He's gonna win. He's gonna probably submit Brendan Allen or a decision or something, but he's gonna win regardless. So we're going with Rainier the Ridder. Now I'm gonna summarize who I'm picking for this card. Azamat Bekoev, Drew Dober, Danny Barlow, Hyun Song Park, Charles Jourdain, Matt Frevola, Aoriqileng, Aoriqileng, the Mongolian murderer, uh, Manon Fiorot, Aiemann Zahabi, Mike Malott, and Rainier the Ridder. So if you enjoyed this or if it helps you, subscribe. Let me know in the comments, and